Hey guys, Becky with Design Bundles here. Now, I'm super excited for you to join me today because I have a huge secret. Well, maybe it's not much of a secret, but I'm going to show you how to take files from Silhouette Studio and use them in your Glowforge. Now, why is this important? Because there's so much you can do in Silhouette Studio. All right, let's jump over and get started.
Okay, so here I am on designbundles.net, and this is what I wanted to show you. These designs, in my opinion, are really awesome, and they would make really awesome ornaments with my Glowforge, right? But the question is, they're not set up as ornaments. But that's okay, because what I'm going to do is bring these, I'm going to go ahead and buy them and download them and bring them into Silhouette Studio to add them to an ornament. Now, why do I want to do this? Number one, I want to do this because I love Silhouette Studio and it's what I already use. Number two, the Glowforge software is very limited on what you can do. So sometimes it can be frustrating trying to, figure out kind of how to get from A to B. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here and I'm going to extract all. And once these are downloaded and extracted to my computer, then I will open one of them and show you in Silhouette Studio how we're going to turn these into ornaments. Okay, so here I am in Silhouette Studio. This is just a new open page, and I'm going to go ahead and I always show you guys how to go to File and Open or File and Merge, but I don't want to ignore a very awesome shortcut, and we use a lot for Glowforge anyway. Basically, I'm just going to isolate the one that I want, and then I can drag and drop it over into Silhouette Studio. So with that taken care of, you can see, let's go ahead and, this is just a basic SVG file. And if I click over to my send panel, you can see I have all my cut lines there. Now, let me clarify, I can bring this over into the Glowforge software. It's an SVG, it'll work. But like I said, I'm going to set this up as an ornament so that it will engrave. So let's go ahead and create our ornament base. I need just a regular circle, but then I also need a loop at the top, right? So I'm going to create another circle and another circle. So circles galore. So now these two right here, I'm going to come up here to my little shortcut. I can center those together. And I'm going to right click and make a compound path. Now, if these are not tools that you're familiar with, your align is going to be under your transform panel. Right here you have all these options. And then your make a compound path is going to be modify, and it's right here under compound paths. Of course, we have videos on using those, so you don't necessarily have to do those yourself. So I'm going to overlap these. I'm going to come back up here to my shortcut and center them. And then I can right click and choose weld. So that is the basis for my ornament. Now I can change the size. I do want to go ahead and do this, in my opinion. I want to go ahead and do this because I just want to make sure that that loop is going to be a good size for me. You don't want to, if it's too small, it'll be brittle. So I think we're good. And then I just want to set this up in a way that my design is centered in my ornament. And if you can't tell already, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to engrave this design onto the face of the ornament. So we can center those. Okay, so this is basically my ornament. I have the outline that's going to cut. I have the inside that will engrave. I'm going to group these together just so that I can keep them in the same position that I want them. Get it onto our white work area. I'll center it to page. You don't really have to, but that's what you can do. Now, here's where we need to take a break because we need to talk about two things. Now, I have Business Edition of Silhouette Studio. What that means is that I can save directly from Silhouette Studio and save it as an SVG file so that I can use that in the Glowforge. Now, if you do not have Silhouette Studio Business Edition, or perhaps you're just trying it out before you commit to purchasing Business Edition, that's okay. There's actually a workaround. Now, the workaround is not approved by Silhouette America, so I don't want to mislead you into thinking that it is approved by Silhouette America. It's not, because obviously they want you to purchase the business edition. But I'm going to show it to you, and then it will be up to you. I still actually have to use the workaround method sometimes, because not all of my SVG files have saved correctly. But anyway, so we are going to do the free version first. It's just a few extra steps, and then I will show you the paid version. So free version, paid version. The free version first is I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Save As. I'm going to save it to my hard drive, and I'll just throw it on my desktop, and I will say Christmas Ornament. Don't have to be anything fancy. It's going to save as a studio file. Now this is a website. It's Ideas RS Software. I don't know anything about them. I'm not affiliated with them. I just know that they have a Silhouette Studio to SVG converter. So I'm going to go to Choose File. I'm going to go back to the desktop and find that Ornament, if I can spell Ornament. And there we go. So what I can do is just go to Convert Studio to SVG. And then I'm going to right click on Christmas Ornament. I'm going to choose Save Link As. Sometimes it'll say Save Target As Christmas Ornament, and I'll just hit Save. Now this has saved it to my desktop as an SVG. So then in the Glowforge software, I can bring open my Window Explorer. And here is my Christmas Ornament that we just downloaded in an SVG format. So I'm going to drag and drop that over here. It's going to process it for me. And then what we're going to do is we will actually compare this with the other one. So we'll go ahead and we're going to size it down for now. As a matter of fact, I can go ahead and we'll do a 3.5-inch ornament. Okay. So now that was the free version. Remember, so all you would do is save it as a studio, open up the website, upload it, download it, import it. All right, now I know that can still be a little bit intimidating. Let me just show you the paid format real quick, and then it'll be up to you to decide if it's worth the upgrade or not. Now, I do think that Silhouette Studio Business Edition has a lot more features, but I'm just saying you will be able to decide if converting to SVGs alone is enough, okay? So now back in the software, I'm just going to go to File, Save As. Now we're going to do this as Christmas Ornament 2, and we're just going to change this to SVG format. So now when I go to the software and I open my File Explorer, all I'm going to do is select the Christmas Ornament 2, drag and drop. So what it's doing is it has saved us the step of uploading and downloading from the website. Being that you have to be connected to the Glowforge anyway, or you have to be connected to the internet to use your Glowforge anyway, that's not really like a make or break. So it's completely up to you. So if you want to use Silhouette Studio and you don't want to pay for the business edition, you can use some type of converter. There are actually several converters out there to choose from, or you can upgrade to business edition and just do it what I call the easy way. But if I size this to 3.75, I want you to see that they are virtually the same. 3.5, excuse me, there we go. Now really they are the same. I mean, I don't see any visual differences. So I am not going to cut both of them, but I will go ahead and cut and engrave this one. So I'm going to slide this all the way down in the corner because I'm such a hoarder. I don't want to waste any material. All right, I think we're good. Now, it already picked up because I'm using the proof grade material that came with my machine, and it already picked up that I want to engrave and I want to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and choose print and finish up this project. But while this is calculating, I just want you guys to know that this is how you use Silhouette Studio to, now this is very basic, but this is how you're going to use it to be able to move files from Silhouette Studio into your Glowforge. So if you take the time to learn Silhouette Studio, literally anything that you can do in Silhouette Studio, you can save it as an SVG and bring it into the software. So that's not to say that, there aren't really great files out there. You know there are. I love my files from design bundles, just like this one. But sometimes you either need to make a modification or maybe you're getting into designing and you're ready to set up your own. Silhouette Studio is really great for that. And you have two options, paid and free, to be able to use those files in your Glowforge software and your laser engraver.
So how do we feel about Silhouette Studio? Now, if you're brand new to Silhouette Studio, the software does have a learning curve. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. But it is actually a very robust software that you can use whether you have a silhouette cutting machine or not, which is great news for Glowforge users. And did I mention that it's free? All right, so we showed you the free way, and then of course if you want to unlock more features and get to export SVGs the easy way, then those are going to be paid options. But don't worry, because we do have a video for you to not only tell you about the benefits, but to show you how to upgrade your software. So we won't go any more to that, but it's really easy, I promise. It is really easy, and once you get the software down, you are going to be kicking butt with your Glowforge designing. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you do your thing. Make sure that you give us a like if you like the video, leave a comment if you have any comments or questions, and share with a friend. If you have any Glowforge friends, they need to know about this. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's my last piece of advice, because of course we always have a lot more ideas coming around the corner for you. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, and we will see you next time.